Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. We are going to continue with TD week here. In the Toitle, why did Wargaming miss out on the opportunity to do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the turtle tank? Or the tortoise? I don't know, fellas. Honestly, I wonder if that was talked about and maybe they decided against it, like it was brought up, and maybe in the negotiations with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hasbro, or whoever it is, they just decided they didn't want to. I don't know. I'd love to know what the answer to that is, because it seems like an obvious one, right? But we're going to talk about slow tanks, slow TDs. It is continuing on with TD week. Today we're going to talk about picking your time to push. Now, I am bottom tier in a turtle, and while this thing is a pretty good tank, you do have to be careful and you need to pick your points and pick when you're going to push. It's very slow, so I did have an option to go support the WZ and E25, and honestly there's a part of me that says I really should have been over there doing what I could do to help these guys, but there's a Su-14-2, so with Artie involved, I just felt like the positions I could get to, I was going to get bombed a lot. And these things can a lot, the ST1, these guys, if they get close enough, it's easy enough to pick apart the lower plate on this thing, shoot into its side. It does have enough weak spots against tier 9s and 10s, and I'm especially looking at you there, Mr. JPZ. I just don't want to get nuked by that guy. So we're going to put the hurting on him right here and grab ourselves 653. So early on, not bad. Decent position here on this map on Himmel's Redschardorf to sort of support the middle. You can see me looking over to the middle, and you can see me looking over there to the left side as I'm viewing it there, to the heavy brawl, and I've knocked some trees down to build a nest. Pretty typical, not very surprising TD stuff right here. So we're going to hang out here for a bit. That was a good kill for our guys killing the IS-7. That's one of their tier 10 heavy tanks, so that's always nice to get rid of. You can see that the E-75 and the WZ-111 are doing the best that they can. They are backed up by the Skoda, the Hori, the Suma, and myself, but that's only really if the enemy team pushes in. So what I'm looking here to do is get as much damage as I can. I'm watching the other flank. I'm trying to support the middle, and I'm thinking of when it is I can push to help a side. And that's where it's really important with you TD folks out there who love the TD thing. Well, what I find generally is people have not a very good idea of when it is they need to get their gun into the game or get their hit points or their tank moving. Add a little bit of support to guys who need it on a flank, maybe either shore up a flank or help push through to kill, that kind of stuff. And I'll be honest, I'm a little late, I think, in my assessment on this one. We'll watch it continue to develop. We have a decent control of the middle. I like what the GSOR, the Batchat, the Char, the Type 71, and the rest of them are doing over here. Although people are going to start chirping at the Type 71 here pretty soon. Their heavies are doing okay against ours. They've really hurt the Quillin. The WZ-111 is hurting big time because the WZ has been able to thump him several times. But we've also taken out their Object 907. That's another of their tier 10s. So when you have a tank like a Casemate TD like this, you do have to A, have patience, but B, be ready to move forward and help the team. And I feel like a lot of times for TD players who are primarily TD players, they lack that essay on a lot of occasions. The way you get it is obviously in analyzing the game and watching, but also too, and in addition to, just get your left finger or whatever it is you use to press W, your forehead, your toe, I don't care, and press W. Just give it a shot, man. Give it a shot. Things are going well. I can see that the west flank is no problem. The center is getting pushed. So really where their strength is right now is over here on the east side. So I need to be pushing down into the east side, and it's about here where I wish I had moved. And unfortunately, I sort of let this go a little longer than I really wanted to. They kill the Barask that's down in there. The Suma does a decent job of getting rid of him, although I don't know why he's just hanging out there. It may be that the Patton's got a view on him from where he is. I'm not sure. When I do start moving here fairly soon, I am going to get lit. So this is where I'm starting to consider it. I'm kind of looking at what's the Patton, what can he see? Well, he's outside of spotting range to me, so I'm really not worried about him necessarily. We just killed their WZ-111-5A. I am worried, obviously, about a 704 and a JPZ absolutely nuking me, but I'm starting to feel like my guys are going to need a little bit of help, so we're going to start pushing here. The M46 is lit. I haven't looked over there. I'm investigating. All right, looks good. And then about here, I say I probably have a shot on this guy. Let me just swing around. Ooh, I did get lit. That's not good. We'll snap one off. Dang it. Didn't work. Fast reload on this tank, but he sneaks back behind the hard cover of the ridge and that little building, and there he goes. All right, fine. So let's get moving. The WZ-111, so we lost our Skoda. The WZ-111's in trouble, and I'm not there to help him. The Bat Chat tries to push, and I think he actually gets nuked here, or maybe he tucks up. I don't remember. We do have the Ho-Ri back there. That's good. Thankfully, that guy missed. And this, really, to be honest, I thought, all right, the best I can do here is keep these dudes busy for a bit. You can see the push that's going on the other side of the map. I'm noting that as I'm moving up. I don't expect to be able to take on all three of these guys. If they had any kind of brains, they'd just push in, kill me off, keep going, get rid of the Suma, the Bat Chat. But that's some decent firepower, and the Ho-Ri 1 is sitting back there. Most players aren't into that kind of pushing in a pub match. So if I can stop them and maybe bounce or make them miss or get some damage, that'll be fantastic. So notice I'm at 653 hit points of damage. That's not much. But what I want to do now is keep these dudes busy. And if I can keep them lit, track them, do damage, do something, maybe get some assist while I'm lighting them up, I can use this little ridge to hide from. I have some decent armor. Not great, but decent. So I'm just hoping they don't push me right here. So Bat Chat's keeping them busy. I'm keeping them busy. We're just going to come up here and we're going to shoot him right in the lower plate. And check it out. Oh, man. Absolutely huge, huge bounce. Right? Little bit of a back slope, added some angle. Surprised he bounced, to be quite honest, but it was a standard round, so not quite as much penetration as you might otherwise have. Absolutely allows me to get in there and get a couple shots on this guy. The Lurva bounces. We just keep shooting into his lower plate. Now, I will know when this JPZ is reloaded and ready to shoot me. He'll turn and start trying to get to me. That is where I figured it. See that? See how he squared up? I can see his gun is moving around. He's trying to figure out how to get a shot on me. And that's fantastic because I can then back out. That forces him to make a move against the other guys. I'm just going to ignore the Lurva. He takes a shot. And now I'm in great shape. He kind of knows it too. I put one into him. I've got the gun depression I need into his lower plate. I essentially just gives up. Remember, I had 600 hit points when I started moving up here. And I'm up to 2,790, 600 in damage. This guy's now tracked. We'll put another shot into his lower plate. We kill off the 704. An absolutely fantastic result for that little push right there. There's 7.52s out of position, way in the corner. Terrible place for that tank, to be quite honest. Basically out of the game the whole time. We'll push in here. I'm hoping that RHM is somewhere shotable. One of the more common places is back in here, as you may know, back in this corner down here, potentially over by their cap. I sort of expected him to be by the cap, but the Bat Chat doesn't see him and he doesn't die. So now I'm trying to work out a way to get a shot on the Su-14, but he's over the ridge. And very nice, we find this dude right here, right? Bit of a crappy shot, goes into the ground. I was still sort of moving the Pipper around, so we'll shoot him once. There we go. Got some HE going on. We'll shoot him again, and we nuke him. And cranks up the damage to 3,381. We get 3 kills in a bottom tier match. And a pretty good example of initial positioning of a slow TD, bottom tier, so that's something obviously to think about. This tank does have some kind of high tier armor at times. I've had games where it seemed like it had none. I've had games like this where I bounce a JPZ shell. You know, bit lucky there, to be honest. Maybe you went off. I didn't pay close attention where it hit. Might have gone off the mantlet, who knows. Looks like right there, I guess. So he shot right into that, but I was on a bit of a back slope, so I added some angle to it and very thick armor. Got away with it. That's very awesome. Look for my opportunity to push in there. And even in your slow casemate TDs, guys, generally in just about every game, there's a time when you need to commit your hit points and your gun to one flank or the other to help win, right? Sometimes you just get rolled over noted. You know, you hang out in your defensive crouch and you die firing. That got it. But in a game like this, where you can make a difference on a move, at some point in most games, let's put it that way, at some point in most games, you have an opportunity to pick a move, even with a slower TD, to get that gun somewhere where it can be more useful. So look for those opportunities. When you've got a nicely armored TD like this, that helps. It's slow though, so that's on the negative side. Got to take all that crap into consideration. Obviously the map, the mode, the situation, yada yada. But I wanted to show you guys that as we're doing TD week, something to think about. And nice little result for a tier 8 TD and a tier 10 battle to drop 3,381 and another 700 or so spotting. That's over 4K combined. This is only a class 2 with 1,300 experience. This tank has some very high requirements because it's quite good. All right, fellas, have a great one. That's all I've got. We will see you. Let me know what you think down below.